How does it feel to be part of this event as we send off some Olympians that have never been there before?
Well, it's great to be a part of it. I mean, we've never done anything like this before, and you know, the fact that the Coyotes and their organization thought of this event is kind of cool for us. You know, there's going to be 10 of us, or 9 or 10 of us that are going to be here to send off the hockey players as they go on their quest and dreams of winning. But just the fact that they even thought of bringing the 80 team, or as many of us as we could together, is pretty special. And I really have a great respect for the Coyotes and their organization for doing something like this.
Now, the Coyotes have 5 players going to the Olympics. 4 of them are going for the first time. I'm just wondering, do you have any advice to any young hockey players doing this for the first time?
Not those guys. They're, you know, if they were college players like we were, maybe I would give an opinion. But they're professionals. I mean, they've been in this big arena before, whether it's the Olympics or even the Stanley Cup. You know, my advice always is to just enjoy, soak it in, enjoy it. It's a great opportunity. It's something they may never have in their lives again to do. And go out there, play hard, have some fun, and when the smoke clears, you represent your country as proudly as you can. But it is a special time. It's a little different than the Stanley Cup, in my opinion. But to these guys, they've been around the block quite a bit in big, you know, games before. So enjoy it, have fun, and good luck and best wishes to them.
For the guys that are going off now, it's kind of a 2-week break in an NHL schedule, kind of a different deal for Olympians. For you guys, it was a year-long quest, and for some of the people on the ice, that was the last time they played, you know, in that kind of competitive situation. Is it just totally different?
Oh, it's way different now than it ever was. You know, 1980, we trained for 6 months. We practiced, we lived together, we hung together, we put our team together, our philosophy, our style, and the whole thing. It's hard for the NHL players. You know, you don't practice at all. You step out on the ice. It's a bigger sheet of ice, something you're not used to. As great and skilled as they are, it's an adjustment. And I think the Europeans have a little easier adjustment to the big sheet as the United States and the Canadian players do. And if you look back, I mean, the last gold medal won on a big sheet of ice by the U.S. or Canada was 1980 in Torino, in Nagano. The Europeans won in Salt Lake City, and in Vancouver, Canada won, and that's a smaller rink. You know, so I think it's an adjustment more so for the North American teams than it is for the Europeans. So that's a big difference.
There's been a lot of Olympics since 1980. This one's back in Russia. Does it have some of it, a little bit of a different feel for you, just because?
Yeah, not really. And I don't really think it means anything to the players that are playing. I think, you know, my opinion is I'm sure the U.S. players are tired of listening and hearing about 1980. Yeah, you know, this is a different team. It's a different era. It's a whole different situation. I would love. I think it would be awesome if our team could win a gold medal in Russia, in Sochi. Not only our men, but our women as well. But, you know, this is their day, this is their time, this is their moment. What we did is what we did, and it was a long time ago. I hope they maybe look at what we did and think, hey, if they did it, we can do it. But, you know, our players today, you know, in 80, we might have opened the door. Our players have knocked the door down. Now, we're a favorite now. We're not sitting in the back looking in. You know, if we don't medal, that's going to be disappointing.
Guys that played here, like Keith Tkachuk and Jeremy Roenick, they talked about lacing their skates up at a squirt game when they're listening, and hearing what you did. How much do you feel that I mean, that has to be a pride thing for you to see American hockey being right at the level of all, you know, at that height level internationally?
Oh, it's a great deal of pride, and I know Keith very well, and I know JR very well, and I know Pat LaFontaine and Chris Chelios and all those guys that kind of moved forward. You know, what we did in 80, they've taken to a level, and now the Patrick Kanes and the Parisis and Bobby Suter's son, you know, Ryan, and what we have for players now that play the game. It's great to know that they've brought what Keith Tkachuk and Jeremy Roenick and the Chelios and the Leaches have done. They've brought it to another level. So we continue to develop and grow, and it had to start somewhere. And to be honest with you, you know, 1960 we won a gold medal, and nobody knew anything about the 60 team, but maybe they kind of were pioneers in many ways. And then we took it to another step, and now they've taken it to another step.
People may think you you spend every Thanksgiving and Christmas together as a team, but this is a fairly rare occurrence for you guys to get this many people from the team.
This is very, very rare. The only time we've been together twice since 1981, was at the All-Star game in Los Angeles, and second time was unfortunately when Herb passed away. We had 19 guys at the opening ceremonies in Salt Lake City. We've had 8 to 10 guys off and on. We've had some golf trips where guys have gotten together to play, but this is another opportunity for us to get together and have some fun.
How much of the Olympics will you watch, Mike?
I'll watch as much as I can. I don't know what the time hours are, but I'm looking forward to all our athletes compete. Once you're an Olympic athlete, I think, clearly as a hockey player, I want to watch our men's team and our women's team play. But I'm going to watch the bobsled, the luge. I'm a big Bodie Miller fan. I can't wait to see Bodie. Hopefully he'll perform real well. And the speed skaters and the figure skaters and the whole thing. They all are a part of our games, and they represent us, and it's exciting to watch them.
One or two if you don't mind. The movie, I know that you guys were able to have a lot to do with that movie. Were you happy with it the way that it came out? Because there's a generation of folks that maybe remember you more from the movie now than from the actual event.
Yeah, I run into that now when I speak at corporate sales meetings. My audience wasn't born in '80, but I thought the movie was done well. Would I have changed things? Absolutely, as a player, certain things. But for the most part, it really was the Herb Brooks story, and we were part of it. And I thought the movie was done well. I thought Kurt Russell was amazing as Herb, although in the movie Herb was a little friendlier and softer than he actually was. But I think they captured the moment. They captured the spirit of our team. I think they captured the closeness of our team, and that was important for me and I think my teammates to see.
What's the first thing you say to these guys when you run into them again? When you see them today?
Just a big hug and a kiss. How you doing, bud? What's happening? How's your family? How's your wife? How are your kids? We don't talk about the '80 Olympics. Very, very rarely at all does that discussion come up. It's more about how you've been. And
it's almost an unspoken link.
Well, you know what? It was 34 years ago. It's,
right.
What are you doing today? How's work? How's business? And that's basically what we talk about.
But maybe later tonight, when you're together, will some stories flow, or is that?
You know what? It might, but I would be surprised if it does.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be, what's your handicap and how many strokes am I getting tomorrow?